Hello divas, we have a new location unlocked and it's actually my bedroom. Today is Arbor Day, but I made the mistake of going to the optometrist and spent almost $1,000 there. So I will not be going anywhere but this room today. I had great plans for Arbor Day, and that was one, to go to the optometrist so I can get new contacts, and two, to go get an artisanal sandwich at the Nugget Market, and then go to the park and ground myself. But when you lose that much amount of money within an hour, it makes you have to really think back on your priorities. I can't be one with the earth right now because my earth currently is in a financial deficit. So we will not be partaking in Arbor Day. So instead, I have Arbor Day at home. These are not trees, but they emit oxygen, I believe. So this is the next best thing. So my bedroom has like a wall of plants. I hope it captures the whole wall. I'm probably blocking a good chunk of it too, but there's like a little jungle cascading behind me as well, and some plants. And if you hear a strange noise, it's my humidifier for my plants. But if you can't hear it, then that's cool too. I just want to go off a limb by saying this is what I get for defending a white woman, because Taylor Swift's new album is the absolute worst thing my ears have been cursed upon. I didn't even realize that I was listening to a second song up until like the fifth song. It felt like one long run-on sentence, and it was really bad. And honestly, the sound that she's trying to evoke right now doesn't even feel authentic, nor is it feeling like it's hers. And I've seen a lot of comparisons of it trying to be like a Lana Del Rey-esque kind of album, and I see the vibe. But honestly, this just felt like a weird ass cash grab throwaway project, and I don't like it. I thought I might have liked one or two songs, but it just felt very reminiscent of songs from like Evermore or Folklore, and they might have been like throwaway songs that she just wanted to include on here. And honestly, as a 30-something-year-old, you would think at some point she would mature and stop acting like she's in her early 20s. But, you know, maybe some people don't change, and that is what I'm beginning to feel like with Taylor Swift's music. I haven't been on Swift Talk, and God hope I don't ever end up on it, because some of these girls are so delusional and so weird. Like, not everything an artist makes is going to be gold. You know, everyone needs a flop era. And this is it. And why is that album fucking 30 songs long? It felt like that one Chris Brown album that was just way too long, and it felt very threatening. And that's exactly what it feels like to me now. Everything about it just seems so pretentious. It feels like those people that read for the aesthetic and not just reading for the sake of reading. There's just a lot of posing on this album, and the fans on top of that. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not saying I hate Taylor Swift. I'm just saying she did not tap into her potential. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of falling off as a fan. I'm sorry, Queen. This is a flop for me. And I'm pretty sure you'll hear like a bunch of takes on this album already. So nothing I say will be of any value other than to say that I hate it. On the other hand of music, an old friend from high school recently released her own EP. It's under the umbrella of electronic music, and I'm honestly so glad that she finally came out with music. Like, ever since I've known her, she's always been about the music. She's been classically trained. She's always doing gigs. Like, she is a music lover and practitioner. So she finally came out with her EP, and honestly, it's really good. I really like it. She goes under MOOGITRON, and I will list her Spotify in the description, and I hope you give her a listen. It's really good stuff, so I really hope you can check it out. Um, what have I been up to lately? I have been a mall rat. I've come to realize I love the mall. And it's probably because I don't have a third place and I usually just hang out by myself. So being in a space where there's a lot of people and a different scenario for me to be in, I think it's just really hyping me up to like the mall. And that's funny for someone who's low-key agoraphobic and hates crowds. But something about the mall, it just feels different. And I like it. I love finding inspiration at the mall. Like, I swear to God, this lady at Aritzia almost convinced me to buy a Marc Jacobs bag, like the tote bag. And usually I'm very indifferent towards that bag. But when I saw how she styled it and how cute it looked on her, for a split second, I was about to make that purchase. I'm still considering it. I just don't like heavily labeled things, especially when it's like Ray Dunn-esque. Like, I know that's a tote. Why are you calling it a tote bag? Like, it's kind of ironic, but I'm just not about that. But that lady really had me considering getting one. But yeah, like, I just love seeing how people put together things, and like, I just gathered so much inspiration at the mall. The reason I went to the mall was because I wanted to play with slime. So there is a slime store at this particular mall, and it's operated like a Chipotle. So like, you choose the texture of slime you want, the color you want, the scent, and then like added charms. And it's honestly a fun time. It is expensive, but it's an experience. And I think I want to go there for my half birthday next month. That's the plan that I told my friends anyway. So, but yeah, it felt so funny because me and my cousins, it felt like we were the oldest people in that whole room, because it was just a bunch of little children, father-daughter dates, grandchild dates. So we definitely felt out of place, but it's okay because we enjoyed the slime. It was really fun. Like, I felt like a child, you know, just healing my inner child, one slime date at a time. Speaking of the optometrist though, do you guys ever feel like you're lying to your optometrist when you do your eye exam? They're like, 1 or 2, which one's clear? And I'm like, I'm not sure. It's like when they're trying to verify if you're not a robot and you have to click all the images that have a bicycle, but then one image has like a bicycle handle. Like, technically it isn't a bicycle, but it's part of the bicycle, so that makes it a bicycle. And then you just get really confused. Like, that was how I felt at the optometrist. I just felt like I was fibbing. And then I think she kind of caught on that I wasn't sure of myself, because at the end of my evaluation, she was like, so you say you can't see the letters on the screen when I put this temporary lens on you, but when I put you under the microscope, you can see it. So that makes no sense to me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at, honestly. And she really had me freaked out. Like, I felt like I couldn't breathe the whole time. Like, I just was holding my breath. Like, I was just scared. Like, I don't know why I was so scared. It's my own eyes. Like, there are no wrong answers. She's just trying to make sure that I can see. But I just can't. Like, it's an anxiety issue that I'm not even working on it, but I'm just going through it, you know? So I don't know. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to give you this prescription. Let me know how this works out and call me in a couple of days. And I'm like, okay. But yeah. And so she dilated my eyes, which is also a reason why I didn't want to go outside to the park, because it takes probably like a couple hours to really like get your eyes situated. Like, even right now I can barely see. But honestly, when I tapped to paid after my visit, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go home. Like, I can't afford to be outside anyways. And I already have really bad allergies. I was just going to sit outside for maybe 10 minutes up until I start sneezing. But, you know, that was honestly a wrong call on my end. So that is the consequence I have to live with. And so I'll be surrounded by my wonderful plants today. I am having an iced coffee right now, and it's not bad, except for the fact that I forgot that I put vanilla syrup in it, because I was trying to make like an artisanal coffee at home. But then I forgot, and I was like, why is this flavor tasting hella weird? And then I realized I put lavender syrup. And maybe this syrup isn't meant for the coffee I made, because it's honestly giving a very off-putting taste. I hate when ugly people criticize pretty people and you know it's out of spite and jealousy. Like, I can smell the jealousy off of your lips. Like, I'm sorry you don't want to put effort into how you look because you look tragic. And I'm not going to say I'm better than anyone else. I'm not going to put someone down based on their looks. But if you draw the first jab and you start insulting pretty people, I'm going to have to defend the pretty people's honor, because why are you as an uggo, unprovoked, trying to put other people down? Like, I'm sorry you're broke. I'm sorry that you don't want to put in the effort. Actually, I'm not sorry. That's all your fault. Why are you projecting so bad? I had a conversation with someone who's not ugly but not pretty, but the words that come out of their mouth just make them seem like such an unpretty person. And maybe it's my underlying mean girl coming out, and it's just always been there and it's just waiting to be activated. But when someone is out here just attacking someone else based on their looks, that is not a good look for you, sweetheart. And I'm going to start throwing jabs too, because when they go low, I go lower. I'm not better than nobody else. But yeah, in my head, I was like, bitch, you ain't pretty either. Like, how about you start putting in some effort in your looks? How about you focus on yourself? Speaking on focusing on yourself, there's this person that I follow, and she's someone who is always in a relationship. It almost seems as if she can't be alone, because it feels like she thinks she's worthless if she's single. That's what I get. But she's also one of those people who reposts cryptic ass posts on Instagram. It's always like, a woman's worth is not based on blah, 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 but how strong she can handle. Who is calling me LA Fitness? I don't live in LA. Very interesting. Anyways, yeah, she's just one of those people that post very cryptic things, and it's to get the attention of who she's. I did not answer that call. But it's like a post that's geared towards one person, but she's just putting it out there. I hate those people. Like, you act like you're so tough, then actually be tough and talk about it with who you're having an issue with. Why are you putting things out in the open like that? It's not like I'm going to reach out to her or anything, but I'm just like, why must you want to garner that attention? You know? Because it always seems like there's always something wrong in your life. And that's just perception, baby. But yeah, it doesn't seem like things are going too well on her end. But it's like, get a hobby, do something, decenter yourself from men. Because why would you waste all your youth and energy and love on someone who constantly treats you wrong? I've seen it time and time again, and I feel like it's easier coming from someone who's never really been in a relationship. I think my choice of not wanting to be with anybody necessarily has kind of made me, in a way, feel superior towards those who feel like they must be in a relationship all the time. I feel like I am on the way end of the spectrum of hyper independence, whereas some people are on the way end spectrum of needing to be with someone, codependency. So in a way, we're two sides of the same coin. But I just feel like putting yourself through all of that, that's not love, and that's not gonna make you grow as a person. If anything, you're just gonna regress and grow bitter, and I don't think that's a life you should be living. On top of that, I saw this very interesting TikTok where this girl was like, people who've never been in a relationship before, how does it feel like to not have your spirit broken by a man? And I will say, I am living the richest life possible because my spirit has not been broken by a man nor manipulated by a man. I'll even add women to that, but I've never been in a relationship with a woman, so I wouldn't know. I will say, despite the mental illness that encapsulates me, that ensues me, I'm doing good. And if anything, it's just holding people at a higher standard in which they cannot fuck with me. And I'm not sure if that makes me better than everyone else, but it kind of does. All to say is my spirit is broken, but not in the way that heartbreak does. All I'm saying is decenter yourself from men, because at the end of the day, all you got is yourself. And if you depend on, validation from men, attention from men, it ain't even worth it. Men are fucking gross and they're disgusting and they'll touch anything with a pulse. So you're not special. I'm sorry. Good luck out there. Although I say that about men, I also have been seeing a lot of TikToks of men loving a woman so much that they start inventing things to make their women's life easier. The way I want to experience that just once in my life. He loves her to the point of invention. Like, hello. Why won't you solve problems for me? I would love that. I think the closest I've gone to someone bending over backwards for me was a man flying to Seattle to buy me a brass incense holder from Aesop because it's not legal to sell here in California. Literally went to Seattle for 24 hours, then flew back just to give me, it was either Christmas or my birthday, like one of those. I think that was really sweet because I don't think I'd personally do that. Also because I'm too scared to travel alone anyway, so that will never happen. But yeah, like this guy just creates things around the house just to make his wife's life easier. When's it gonna be my turn? When is a man gonna find solutions for me? The answer is never, because those men are rare. Probably 0.01%. I literally just want to get married just so I can wear a Vivienne Westwood bridal piece. Like, literally wear it and look cute in it. I really don't subscribe to marriage, but to dream. Because I can't imagine wearing a white dress on any other given day. Like, I'm more of a black wearing person. Like, I don't like color that much. The allergies, they're getting to me. But yeah, I only ever want to get married just so I can wear a Vivienne Westwood bridal piece. I am loving the marketing that Marc Jacobs is doing. I saw a really low budget advertisement and it was like the Marc Jacobs Rizz party. It gave me like big Vine vibes, and like these guys were literally working with nothing, and it was just so funny. It felt like improv, and you know, it's just so random and they're just doing such a great job with it. Like even Slushy Noobs had a Marc Jacobs video, and of course Enya and Drew have their little doohickey with them. So I'm loving what they're doing with the Gen Z marketing. And if you can squeeze me in, I promise I'll make it worth your while, Marc Jacobs. So just saying. Please, please, please. I want that tote bag so bad, and I don't want to pay $400 for it. So TikTok is given an ultimatum. Either be sold to the U.S. or be banned in the U.S. So what's it going to be? Mr. Zhu is really hot. But he's not my sexy of the week. My sexy of the week is someone I have been fighting to have a crush on, but every time I see a thirst video of him on TikTok, I can't help but to stare. And this week's sexy of the week is Hassan Piker, because he was yelling at that British guy on Morgan Pierce, that show. I don't watch that shit. Honestly, politics overall is a very boring thing to me, and it just makes me angry because I really have no power to change anything, and the dynamics of it all just honestly hurts my head. But the clips I saw on TikTok, oh my God, that shirt he was wearing, his argument with full force, like, come on. How am I not supposed to fall for that man? And then I saw him on Brittany Broski's Royal Court, and just seeing him giggle just did something to me. So he's one of my sexy of the week. My other sexy of the week is Theo James. He is so fine. I forgot he was in Divergent because I keep seeing thirst traps of him from that one show. It was at the Four Seasons. He was trying to fuck Aubrey Plaza. That show. He was so fine. Put me in a sandwich between Hassan and Theo. I don't think I could walk. I'm not gonna put that in. I really can't see. This dilation is really like fucking with my eyes. So if it looks like I'm not looking at the screen, it's because I'm not. I finally got my tickets to the Sweat tour. I'm very upset though because I wanted to go to the New York show, but I could not get tickets to save my life. First of all, I was already number 3,000 in the queue at like 10:30. So things weren't looking so well for me anyway. I did get shows to the San Francisco show and they're nosebleeds. So, but I got tickets and it was $60 and it's going to be fun and it's going to be the gayest event of the year. And I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I've been seeing a lot of fig tree analyses on TikTok. Basically, if you haven't read Sylvia Plath's book, The Bell Jar, she compares her life to a fig tree in which the possibilities of who she could have been in her life is compared to each fig tree thingy. God, I sound really stupid right now. So in the book, she said she could have been a mother, she could have been a writer, she could have been anybody she wanted to be. And a lot of people have been reposting their fig tree analysis. So this girl was like, in one life, I could have been a pastry chef. In another life, I could have been a painter. I could have been a singer. Just all the roles in the life that she could have played had her life played out the way she wanted it to be. And I've thought about my own. I feel like I've had a lot of dreams and aspirations that never came into fruition because of my circumstance and my mental illness and just the limitations I put upon myself, just because somehow I've convinced myself I can't be. So I guess I'll give you the lives that I could have been in my life. I did at one point want to be a teacher. I think the comfort of teachers when I was in elementary school just made me really want to be a teacher, because just like the compassion you have for kids so young and so stupid, it's just endearing. I think I wanted to be a teacher up until like the 4th grade, because all of my elementary school teachers, they were so sweet, so understanding. I think because growing up in an Asian household where like they kind of just give you like the cold shoulder, there's not a lot of affection. Going to a school, an American school, where the teachers just kind of like basically are a whole 180 of what you're used to, I think that was just different to me. And even from a young age, I felt like if I could just pass on that feeling to even just one person, I think that would make a whole difference in my life. So yeah, at one point I wanted to be a teacher. I realized I can't be a teacher. I hate over explaining myself. I hate having to repeat myself. I have no patience for children, quite honestly, and that's a personal feat in itself. Yeah, I can't do the teacher thing, and also they don't get paid enough to deal with what they deal with. And I hate when people question me. Because I barely understand the concept myself, bitch. What you mean you want me to explain this again? So no teacher, no mas. My secret dream, not so secret after I tell you this, is to be a singer. I love music so much. I love how it connects everybody, no matter what language you speak, no matter how old you are, no matter what walk of life you're in. Music just connects you to everybody, no matter what it is. Even if you have like opposing worldviews, even if you're enemies, like music is a thing that sews everyone together. And I think that's beautiful. This morning, I just clicked on the newest NPR performance and it just so happened to be Neo. And I just think it's crazy that I listened to this man ever since like 2007. So on the NPR show, he was singing some of the songs that he wrote. I didn't know he co-wrote Irreplaceable by Beyonce. And that is a song that everyone sings during karaoke. That's a song you sing when you're feeling sad and you need like a pick-me-up. You know, like that's just a song that can be played at any stage in your life, and it's still relevant today. Even when I was little, I was never shy to perform. Like I would like put on shows, I would start singing. I loved the attention. Somehow in my life, I got shy and I just kind of tucked that part away. But you know, if I had a chance to do it again, I think I would try to pursue music to some degree. I mean, I learned piano and guitar. That's a whole nother story on top of that, but I just love music. I don't know how to say it without sounding so generic, but music definitely is very important to me. Like I think if I lost hearing, I think I would rather die than to lose my hearing, because I just love to hear music. It just does something to me. Another fig tree, I would love to act. Overall, anything I do, I'd want to be like in the arts. And I think it's so funny that as a person who is very into that, I am now working a corporate 9-to-5. And that's just to say, I just need a day job to maybe supplement my dreams. But I just never thought it would end up this way. I don't know. Maybe it's a roadblock before I really pop off. But I just really thought I wouldn't ever work in an office. And I think that's why this far I haven't like had a career in anything. Because I think my true passion is somewhere in the arts. And I'm just holding out. Because ever since I was in high school, I was just told to apply for the state, have a stable income, live my life. But a part of me just feels like I'm not meant for that. And I know that if I truly work for the government, I'm going to stay locked in and I'll lose all motivation and zest and zeal for anything I want to do in the arts. Like it is truly for me a sign of giving up. And that's not to say that those who do are that. It's just not for me. And I think it's such a difficult thing for me to convey to my family who feels like I'm not doing anything with my life because I'm not working for the government. But it's just like, that's you. That's not for me. And that's just a hard thing for them to really understand. But I definitely do want to do something in the art, something artsy, something in marketing, like something. And I know that the money sometimes isn't that good, but when it's good, it's good. I'm just trying to find something that makes me want to be alive. But yeah, a performer of some type. I'm very shy though, but I feel like when I do perform, I put on a show. Not to toot my own horn, but I put on a show. Why'd I get so close all of a sudden? Another fig tree was a fashion designer. I was very interested in fashion, and I feel like I do carry that spirit with me. I'm not really into it now just because as I've grown older, I've gotten jaded. I've gotten defeated, quite honestly, with the fashion dream of mine. And I know it takes a while for anyone to get their flowers in fashion. And there's just so many things that goes on with it that isn't stable monetarily. A part of me feels like I'm not passionate enough to fight for my dreams. And I will say, yeah, probably. I constantly feel like I'm hunted for sport. My anxiety's through the roof all the time. Like I just need a safe spot, safe haven somewhere in my mind. And I think if I go out of that, I might literally die. So I think just not pursuing these dreams in a way is protecting me, but also holding me back at the same time. So I'm just trying to like spread my wings and fly. And honestly, being consistent with this podcast has really inched me to push me to do things I really want to do. Because honestly, putting myself out there is just kind of insane to me. And I'm someone that wants to be mysterious so bad. But then again, I'll feel really lonely. Like even at this point, I feel really lonely. Despite being surrounded by friends and loving family and all this stuff. But like it's just my mind won't let me feel at ease and content with that. I feel like I need something more. And the more I try to like push for something, the more lonely I feel. And I'm just trying to find some middle ground for that. And that's just the gymnastics that my mind puts me through. I know I preach about it a lot and how I don't want to be it, but I have thought about being a mother and someone's wife at some point. You know, just having your own family, having, you know, just something that everyone's always had. I think the thing about me is I feel like it's very hard for me to obtain things that come so easily to other people, like connecting with friends, getting into relationships, even fucking getting like a master's, you know, like things that come so easily to people. I find it takes me like 10 steps for me to even like get even half of the confidence that people have to pursue it. And I know it's all mental, but some days it just feels really defeating and it makes me feel like a big failure because when I was in college, I was really behind my other friends. Like they were about to graduate and I was like barely in and out of community college. And I just felt like, what am I doing wrong? I wish I like had an idea that there was actually something wrong with me because I kept punishing myself for not accomplishing half of what my friends did. And it just makes me feel like maybe I am stupid, maybe I am useless, but it's really because I had things wrong in my mind and my anxiety and depression was really like keeping me behind. And I'm not trying to blame it on that, but it just, I think had I known that, I would have been less hard on myself and less like the guilt would have been very much less on my shoulders. But yeah, had I known that, I think I wouldn't have blown up later in my life mentally, because I'm honestly right now, I feel really burnt out. And had I known how to deal with that before it even gets bad, I think that would have been very helpful. But back to marriage and kids, like I feel like that's just a hard thing for me to grasp for myself. I don't think I will ever get married, like for real, because I seriously cannot fathom compromising with someone, living with a man for the rest of my life. Just dealing with the stuff that men do. I don't think I have tolerance for that. I am very bad at compromising. Like everything has to be my way or nothing at all. And that is a red flag, I know, but it's just hard for me because I feel like nothing has gone my way ever since I was born. And so when I finally have control of it, I don't want to let go of that, you know? And I just can't imagine someone complementary to how I feel. So there is no way I can ever do that. Kids, girl, I am uncomfortable all the time. I can't imagine being uncomfortable during pregnancy with the legs swelling, with my belly hanging. Like I don't think I can deal with that. And 2, childbirth is probably going to be painful as shit. And I just can't deal with possibly dying during childbirth. Like there's just a lot of things that I don't want to experience. And I feel like anything that could go wrong would go wrong with me. So I ain't doing all that. And losing sleep over a crying baby, having to like know their needs when they're fussy because they're sick. Like I can't do that. Like I have like, how many cousins do I have? I have like 7 cousins. I practically raised almost all of them at some point. So it's like, I had a glimpse of that and I personally don't want that for myself. And then having to just deal with another person's emotions, and like helping them get through stages of life, like from adolescence to teenager, like, and just teaching them things. I just don't think I have the capacity or empathy to deal with that. And I think it's better to know that and not having kids than to not know that and then having kids and to learn along the way. Like I've seen what motherhood has done to people I know. And while it's beautiful, it's not for me. And there is a shift in mindset when you have kids. And it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not for me. It's not for me. It's not for me. And I wish people would stop trying to convince me that if I find the right person, then I'll want to have a kid with them. Or like, I'll learn along the way through motherhood. No, I've been through so much trauma and like seen the generational trauma that has gone along with motherhood. And I'm honestly scared that I'm going to repeat the cycle. No matter how hard you try, you're going to repeat the cycle in different ways, and you're going to traumatize your kid in other ways too. So honestly, I'm good. I think I will save a lot of grief if I don't have children. And then for them to pass that on, I think I'm good on that. I truly think I'm good on that. And I wish people would stop trying to like guilt people who choose to not have children into having children. Because it's not like, if I wanted chocolate ice cream, you're not going to convince me to get strawberry, because that's not what I want. So, you know, like, just stop. Just stop. Motherhood is beautiful. It's for you, but not for me. And if you're resentful of me choosing to not have kids while you chose to have yours and regretted your decision, that's not on me. That's on you. Alrighty, it is time for my top 3. So ranking at number 3 is going to be the Neo Tiny Desk concert. I literally woke up to this performance and I've never felt so nostalgia and happiness in my life. Like going back to how I love music and how it just brings you to a certain state of mind. That's what the Tiny Desk concert did to me, because I practically grew up with that man's music, and then to like hear him perform songs that he wrote, I think that was pretty cool too, because I also grew up with those songs. So that's number 3. Ranking at number 2 is going to be a sleeping product. It's the Lush Sleepy Dust. It's like this dust that smells like lavender and milk, and you basically dust it all over your bed, and it's supposed to create like a calm environment for you to sleep in. And also too, I think like spiders don't like the scent of lavender, so that keeps them away from my bed. My house has a really bad spider problem, and I have been getting bit every night, and I don't know if I should be calling pest control for that, but in my mind, I think it's keeping them away. So that's really nice too. And ranking at number 1 is going to be Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. I love the ending of the song, because the part where she says you have to stop the world just to stop the feeling, where she literally slows down on each word at the end, that just hooked me. Like, it's so good. Like, it's so genius. And the song is actually really good. I love Chapel Roan. Like, she's honestly just having her moment, and I hope she gets more flowers, because she is such a good performer. Her songs are so good. There are no skips on that album. And I need to get a vinyl. I need to get a cassette. I need to get a CD. I need to support my girl. You know, emotionally, I have been okay. Like, I haven't felt really sad, like super sad, in about a week and a half now, and that's progress. And also, I take back my rebuking of ashwagandha, because I had someone literally scream in my face and threatening me, and all I could say was, oh my God, chill out. Like, it ain't that deep, boo-boo. And I felt like in another situation, I would have broke down crying and or have maybe assaulted someone. So, you know, I think the ashwagandha's working finally. So we're going to continue this journey, but I think it's definitely helped me feel less of a chihuahua and, you know, more chill. Although yesterday I did have a little freak out because I had to go to the post office, and I don't know what it is, but driving to the post office literally like scares the shit out of me. So I vlogged it. I might post it or I might not post it. I don't know. But you literally saw the journey of me talking myself into leaving my house. driving to the post office and back. And the funny thing was, I think the whole thing took me like half an hour, but it was just such a big deal. And that's how I know something's wrong with me. But yeah, I'm going to spend the rest of my day drinking my nasty lavender coffee, and I don't know. I think Emergency Intercom's podcast just came out, so maybe I'll vibe to that. I hope you slay your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.